everybody, and welcome to this segment of HCAM Sports Talk. Tom Nappy here, and joining me, the boys are back. We got Barron Jarred Keene. Unfortunately, Steve Watson is on assignment, so he couldn't join us. But guys, good to see you.
Good to see you too, Tom. Hey, what's going on, Jared?
What's going on, guys?
So it's been pretty crazy in the NFL. We had some almost upsets that didn't end up being upsets, almost happened. And then we had some upsets that did happen. And we're going to have our, week 10 picks or week 11?
Week 11.
Can
you believe
picks.
that?
Crazy.
Crazy.
Just flies.
Yeah.
Just flies.
Yeah.
So last week, we all did mediocre, I guess. And let's see. Let's pull up the standings, why don't we? As you can tell, I really prepared for this segment. Well,
we've been on vacation for a long time, so it's trying to get, well, you've been busy, but.
Oh, yeah, we've been busy with all kinds of playoff games for the Hillers. Big shout out to the field hockey team who had a game yesterday, round of 8 game. They pulled off a huge upset in the round of 16 to make it to that game, and unfortunately ended up falling to a very talented Canton team. But they certainly gave it their all, and it was quite amazing to watch that field hockey team go from a team that really started kind of rocky. I think they started like 2-4 to a team that made it to the round of 8. It was just really impressive. And the boys' soccer team had a great season. They were very young, managed to win in the first round of the playoffs, or the preliminary round, to make it to the round of 32, where they would fall in a close game. And girls' soccer had another great run. They fell in the round of 16, but it was a really great back-and-forth game. And girls' volleyball making it to the round of 8, where they would unfortunately lose to Westwood, but they had a terrific season as well. So that's why we haven't been able to do any of these segments in the last couple of weeks, because it's been so busy for Hiller Sports. But it's starting to wind down a little bit, just a little bit. You know, we got some football coming up, but it's nice to be able to come on with you guys and do this segment once again and get our NFL picks out there that nobody should follow.
Oh man, it's
very true.
Yeah, it's tough.
I believe both you guys took Carolina this week, right? You guys both had Carolina.
There it is.
Yes.
Yeah.
Tom and I had Carolina.
Well done. Well done.
Yes. I was you know why I chose Carolina in that game? Because, obviously that was the dumpster matchup of the week, and I just chose the home team. All I did there. I mean, Carolina, so I won't choose them.
That game was overseas, right? That game was in Germany, right?
Yeah. Oh wait, yeah. But at the time,
there was no home team there.
What was funny is at the time when I chose it, I forgot about that. So there you go. I chose it because I thought they would beat Carolina, but it worked out.
I think it goes to show you.
It was actually a really entertaining game, I must say.
It was. I mean, Carolina has shown a little bit of promise, but man, the Giant. Why did you get rid of Saquon Barkley? What were you thinking?
Yep.
That has to be the dumbest move of the offseason.
Yeah. I mean, they have nothing. No. Well, Tracy was decent, but the big problem is Daniel Jones. He was terrible. Terrible.
He's awful.
Yeah.
He's so bad.
And it's not like they don't have receivers. They have some decent pieces. Why isn't he throwing to Wan'Dale Robinson anymore? I don't understand that. That guy was huge in the first few weeks, and then he just stopped throwing to him. It's crazy. I know Neighbors was there, but Neighbors has had a hamstring issue. He was clearly limping during that game. Probably shouldn't have even been out there. But he's not spreading the ball around. He just keeps trying to throw to the tight end and Neighbors and, Slayton once in a while if he's out there. I don't know what he's thinking.
I wish Steve was here for this.
Yes.
You'd have some good things to say about
we'll get him on soon.
Danny Dimes.
I think a team
his favorite.
I think we were talking about this in our text group, but I think a team we have to watch a little bit is the Chargers. They're quietly
Yeah,
winning,
Yeah.
they got a
quietly
good win this
winning.
week.
I mean, they should have beat Tennessee,
Well, they
which they
beat
did,
Tennessee,
but
but they beat them handedly. You know,
yeah,
it was a
they
pretty
did.
dominant win, and they're starting
Jim
to play.
Harbaugh, I went to bat for this guy. This was the guy I wanted the Patriots to go after.
Hey, me
I,
and you were on the same page on that one. That's the guy I wanted to.
yeah, exactly. And but the Chargers, they still
Yeah, I mean, I would
still
have
got
took
that.
Vrabel over what they got now. I wanted someone experienced, so and someone that's had success or at least a taste of it. Harbaugh has probably had the most success coaching wise out of all the candidates. Vrabel was my second choice.
I just look. The Chargers are good, and but they're still the Chargers. They still have that stench about them. Can they win in the postseason? Can they give Kansas City a run for their money? Well, they, clearly
I don't know if they're
they're going in
there.
the right direction.
Yeah, they're going in the right direction. I don't think they're there yet. They probably still need to add a couple more pieces, but I like their chances of getting there with Harbaugh at the helm. That's for sure.
Without a doubt. Without a doubt.
So there's our picks. We're recording this on a Monday, so you'll see the Monday game not picked yet. But prior to the Monday game, the winner of the week was the great Andy Barron, going 10-3. I finished second at 9-4. Jared and Steve right in there at 8-5, and Mike finished 7-6. And our overall records right there. I'm leading the way at 98-52. Steve's 2 games back at 96-54. Jared is 3 games back, 95-55. Andy, you're right in there. You've worked your way back in, man. 93.
I was like 9 games out like a few weeks
You
ago.
were. You were. You're on
I
fire.
made some ground. This is where you got to make it ground right now. Sprint to the
Fire.
finish.
And Mike
Yeah, this is close.
Terosian is almost mathematically eliminated at 86-64.
Well, he almost had Houston last night. That was
Well,
close.
this is a good race here. This is a good race.
It's a good race.
Yeah.
I agree.
Yeah, that Lions Houston game.
I was fuming starting 0-2 to the weekend. Losing both those games by combined 4 points. Fuming. I was going to start 0-2, and I have no regrets about picking Cincinnati against Baltimore. That was a heck of a game, and Cincinnati could have easily won that game. I
think they should have. I think they kind of blew it.
Yeah.
I thought Cincinnati was going to win that game the way it started, and the way it seemed to be shaping up. It looked like the Bengals were going to run away with it, but then they just kind of fell apart.
Guys, the Bengals just have found every way to lose. I mean, they just can't get it together.
No. My first thought in my mind, though, after Carolina kicked that field goal was Jared's must be so mad right now, starting off 0-2.
You ain't wrong. You ain't
wrong. All right.
Again, both those games are so close. Both those games literally could have gone either way. I could have easily been 2-0.
Yes,
but I've been there before too. It's like a coin flip.
And again, Cincinnati's finding ways to lose, but not for the Joe Burrow has been playing superb football. Superb.
He has, and it's like he does pretty much everything they need to win, but they just can't do it. They can't close it
defensively, or some sort of weird mess up offensively. Throwing to the wrong guy, maybe, or some guy not catching the ball, or whatever.
Yeah.
But
yeah.
Joe Burrow's been lights out. 42 fantasy points this week. He's been money. It's been so good.
Well, they got an interesting game that we'll talk about a little later. It's actually Cincy at LA Chargers, so that's going to be a fun one. Very interesting game there. But speaking of
actually a tough one to pick. I got to start thinking about that now.
Yes. Speaking of picks, let's get into it, shall we?
Yep.
All right. Thursday night football. We got
first off, good Patriots win. Solid Patriots win. Defense played really well. Only allowed 142 yards of offense, 9 sacks. Exceptional.
Absolutely.
Really exceptional. Good to see. But
Chicago's
passing attack was brutal, but lots of credit to the Patriots defense.
And actually, let's get our comments about the Patriots in, because we're going to skip that game in the picks because we're recording this on a Monday, and I have yet to see the Rams play this week. So, and I do want to wait because I'm still unsure on who I'm going to pick in that game. All right, so we're going to get into our picks, but first, let's get some comments about the Patriots game in, since we're not going to be picking that. Since we're recording this on a Monday and we have yet to see the Rams play, but you will be able to find all of our picks on the HCAM website, as we've been posting every week. I've been good at it this season at HCAM.TV. We'll have those picks up there sometime, maybe Saturday night or early Sunday afternoon, or maybe even in the morning. But they'll be there, so you'll be able to see what we picked. And if you don't want to look at them, I don't blame you either. So, but I think, yeah, the Patriots, I mean, they played great. I thought the defense was fantastic. They played out of their minds. They were, just running around all over the field, making plays, making big tackles. How many sacks did they have? Wasn't it like six?
Nine.
Nine.
Nine sacks. Listen, I never thought a team had a worse offensive line than we did. Chicago was atrocious
Chicago
yesterday.
was
That
atrocious
was
in every facet of the game the other day. They were
horrible.
absolutely awful.
Yeah.
Absolutely dreadful performance by the Bears yesterday. That
And
is alarming.
Oh,
I'm a Bears fan.
I'm not a big Caleb Williams guy, but I think he's
he was
good.
awful.
But no, I think he's also being held back though by his coach and his coaching staff and his play, his play calling, his development. I mean, he hasn't developed, I think, to the point that
Uh,
they'd probably like him to, and I think that's playing him to try to get him to that point.
well, maybe, but
Again,
can I just
he's
say that
talented, but
there was so many passes that were absolutely terrible by Williams in that game, like way off.
oh,
Just,
you ain't wrong. You ain't wrong.
I mean, there were passes that just weren't even close. He looked like Mac
Yeah.
Jones out there.
Oh, God. That
Mac Jones was
guys
atrocious the other
watching.
day, by the way. Just
Yeah,
interception after interception after interception. Oh my God.
horrible. Absolutely horrible. But watching this game, when I'm watching a Patriots game right now, it's like I'm half into it. You know what I mean? It's almost like it's kind of background noise because it really was not
Yeah.
an exciting game. I mean, let's be honest. Yeah,
No, it was
the
not.
defense played
It was
great.
not.
Anthony Jennings was tremendous yesterday. He was the player on that field. I know Dietrich Wise got a little banged up towards the end of the game. Hopefully he's okay. But there's really still no oomph to this team. Now, I will
The
say,
linebacker, what's his face, was really good. Um, oh, give me a second. Well, I'll think of it. Go ahead with
Drake
your.
May is progressing. I mean, there's no doubt about it. He's got some wheels. He made some good plays. Yeah, that nice drive that they had when they set up the run, I think, to Ramondre Stevenson. He still makes some mistakes here and there. He's still throwing a couple balls that he probably shouldn't, which he's a rookie, but you have to admit, he's looked good. He's looked good.
Yes.
I mean,
Yes. He's made some nice throws.
now they
He's
got to
made
get
some nice
this guy
throws.
some players.
Yeah.
They're not
Tavai,
going to
that
do it
was
this year.
it. Jelani Tavai, he played
He
good.
had
Oh
a good
yeah.
game.
He had a good game. He had a
And
really nice
Marcus
game.
Jones
He had
made
like
some
11
really,
tackles.
yeah, absolutely. Marcus Jones also made some really good plays. This guy's a good player. He's always around the ball. He has good punt returns. He's playing good defense. I think Christian Gonzalez is starting to emerge a little bit. So there are positives, but still, the offense still just they're just not still not putting it together because they just don't have enough talent. It's just really that simple. But Drake May is progressing. There's no doubt about it. They got to get this guy some players in the offseason because I think it will make a world of difference.
He
You put a
is.
couple guys.
And I really like what I see out of Drake May. I think he brings a lot to the table. He has a big arm. He could make that downfield play. He could run, which is something that we're not used to having in a quarterback in New England. But he could do it all. Uh, Now, is he going to have some bad passes and make some mistakes? Of course. He's a rookie. He had a pretty bad interception at one point in during the game, but it was a typical rookie interception. The defender was playing in, and he just simply didn't see him and threw a pick right to him, pretty much.
Yeah,
I think it was like the first quarter. So he had a couple of picks, but you got to expect that out of a rookie. He's going to make mistakes. But to be working with the weapons for the inability to find a better word that he has, and be able to accomplish what he has accomplished as a rookie, that's pretty impressive to me. I mean, they clearly need receivers. I think the tight end play has been very good. Hooper was awesome
Good game.
yesterday.
Good game for
He
him.
was a bright light in that offense.
And Hunter Henry's been solid all year.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I mean, he didn't do much yesterday, but overall, all year he's been solid. But it was good to see Polk make a couple big catches. He had some nice ones. Booty almost had a really nice catch, uh, but it ended up just getting knocked out at the last second. But it was a great throw too by May. But you know, yeah, I mean, I'm liking what I'm seeing out of this guy, and I do think he's the guy. He's your future. He's someone that you can build around, and but I also got to give all the compliments in the world to the defense because they have been riddled with injuries, and they've still found a way pretty much every game to give a decent performance.
Yeah, I agree with you, Tom. And that was their best performance yesterday of the season. There's no doubt about it. This was their best win of the season. They really dominated the game.
Absolutely.
Um, I think from like second quarter on, yeah, I felt confident the Patriots were probably gonna end up winning the game. And I want them to
Yeah.
win. I want to see
Yeah.
some improvements, and we have seen that. We
How
have seen it.
frustrated must those Bear fans be? I
Oh
mean,
my
Oh my
God.
gosh.
you get
Brutal.
Caleb Williams, you think he's the guy, he has a few good games, things are looking great, and then all of a sudden he just stinks. And
Yeah, and
his
the other
throws are
thing
just
too is
off.
Chicago is not better than any of those other three teams in their division. They're
Oh
not even
no.
close.
No,
Not
Not
even
even close.
close.
no. And
So
Jared, did you
it's
want
gonna
to
be
add
rough.
anything?
Yeah, again, just kind of what I said before. Again, to me, this game wasn't about offense. I mean, I like what I'm seeing from Drake. He's clearly developing and making good throws and making good decisions for the most part. Again, like you said, he's gonna make a few mistakes from time to time, and that's part of being a rookie.
Yep.
But again, to me, this game was about the defense. You allow 142 total yards. He made Caleb Williams look quite bad. Christian Gonzalez locked down DJ Moore, who we know is a talented receiver. Um, yeah, I mean, just the pass rush I think was exceptional. Some good linebacking play. Yeah, just really good to see. Really nice to see. A performance like that, and yeah, that's all I got.
Absolutely.
You know,
Patriots.
the other thing that's kind of sad actually is that this team has two more wins. They're in the hunt for a wild card.
Which
Like
is
that
wild, given how
Tennessee.
poorly they played at times this
I
season.
know Tennessee. They lose in overtime. They lose to the Seahawks in overtime in week two. You win
Yep.
those two games, you're 5-5.
No, do you know what the real sad thing is? They're still above the Jets in the standings.
Oh my God.
The Jets got absolutely smashed yesterday by
They have a
Oh,
better
Arizona.
record than
they're a
Dallas.
mess. The Jets
Can
are a
you believe
mess.
that?
A real mess.
Tom, you can't pick the Jets anymore this year. You picked them
No,
yesterday.
Yeah, no, I
no.
refuse to let you pick the Jets.
They have cost me too much. I am not picking them.
Actually, no, pick the Jets all you want. I need to catch you in the standings, but yeah,
Not
pick the
happening,
Jets.
pal.
Pick the Jets every week.
Maybe if they
But I
played
mean, the
like
Jets,
maybe if they played the Giants, then I'll pick them. But
fair.
Pick a
To me,
tie.
the Jets are the perfect example of a team that shows that winning games isn't all about having talent. I mean, obviously the Jets have talent, but it goes, sometimes it goes beyond talent, and they've
yeah,
shown that the perfect example of that. I mean, they have good players, but they're not winning
they're
football
just a
games.
mess.
Get blown out.
Rogers is gone after this year. He's
Oh
retiring.
yeah,
He has
he's
to.
done.
He
There's
has
no
to.
way he's going to stay and put
He
up
has
with
to.
it.
No, he's done. He's done.
All right, let's get into those picks. Thursday night
Okay.
football, Washington at Philly, a crucial NFC East matchup because it's going to be Washington or Philly that takes that division. I think they're like tied right now, record wise. So this is a crucial game. I'm very unsure of who to pick. Uh, Washington, though, I'll tell you something. They didn't look great last week. They had a bad week. I don't know if
I
it
was
was.
at,
I hope it wasn't. Well, I mean, it was close with Pittsburgh, but I don't know. They just didn't do what they normally do. They made some offensive mistakes. They let Pittsburgh get a couple interceptions. But what a game that was between Washington and Pittsburgh. It was actually a really good game. So I am very unsure who I'm going to pick in this one. So we'll start with Andy.
I'm going with Philadelphia, and it's not because I like Philadelphia, but I'm a little concerned with the way Washington played this week. And it's a short week. They still have they're a team that's going in the right direction, no doubt about it. But Philadelphia has been impressive the last few weeks. They had a dominating win over Dallas this week. It's in Philadelphia. This is going to be a tight game, though. Old school
Yes.
NFC rivalry, and whoever wins this game does have control of the division. So I'm taking the Eagles.
All right. I like it. Jared, who do you got?
Andy couldn't have said it better. I'm going with the Eagles. The Eagles are at home. Their defense is playing really well right now. Side note, I had the Falcons defense in my fantasy lineup all week. They would have got me 4 points. I noticed somehow that the Eagles defense was available in my league on Sunday. Picked them up, 29 fantasy points. Wild. Yeah, I mean, they're playing really well. Jalen Hurts is playing well. He's going to get downfield to Devontae Smith and AJ Brown. And again, like Andy said, I'm a little concerned about the way Washington played. Jaden Daniels didn't look great. I think Pittsburgh kind of exposed a little bit of ways to kind of stop him, or kind of at least keep him in check. And again, I don't like Philly. I don't like Sirianni. I know I've defended Sirianni in the past. I can't anymore, but I do like Philly at home this weekend for sure.
Yeah, and that's why I'm going Philly as well. It is that home field factor. They've played well at home. In a game like this, it's going to be an advantage. And it's under the lights. Philly's played good in prime time for the most part. Washington's been pretty good in prime time too. I do think this will be a close game, and I think it has the potential to be a classic and a real shootout as well. The thing I love about the Thursday game, and yes, there's a lot of negatives about them too, is the teams aren't having a normal week. You're not going through your normal preparation, your normal practices. So I really do believe it affects the outcome of some of these games, because you're just changing all your habits throughout the week. And I don't know how much it affects the outcome or if it affects it for the better or for worse. But sometimes when you get these divisional games on a Thursday night football, it could be really boring or it could be really entertaining. You look at the Thursday night game last week, Cincinnati and Baltimore, that game was unbelievable. It was insane. Would it have been the same kind of game Sunday, or maybe the defense plays a little better Sunday and it's a little less scoring going on? So it's just kind of interesting thing to think about. But yeah, I'm going Philly. They're at home and they've been playing some really good football. I can't stand the Eagles. I hope Washington wins, but I'm picking with my brain and not my heart here. So I'm going Philly.
One last thing I'll say about Philly as well, and Andy mentioned it before, but it's wild how well Saquon Barkley fits into their offense, and he's
Oh,
been
he
he's,
fits
he's
in
been
perfect.
he's been a difference maker too. I mean,
No
running the
doubt.
football, catching the football out of the backfield. Again, the Giants were just so dumb for letting him go, especially again
Yeah.
to a divisional rival that only made them better.
Oh,
So
yeah. I mean, that's one thing that I always thought. I knew Baltimore needed it and Philly. The only thing they need a running back. And Philly, they didn't need it as bad as Baltimore, I guess. They had a little bit better of a situation than Baltimore did. Um, but Derrick Henry's really worked out for Baltimore, and Saquon's really worked out for Philly. But yeah, the Giants are stupid. Why would you trade him to a division rival? So dumb. All right. Moving on to the Sunday games, Green Bay at Chicago. Should I just go ahead and write Green Bay in for everybody?
Please,
yes,
not even up for
Not even
discussion.
worth a chat. Jacksonville at Detroit.
No,
Jared, you going Jacksonville?
always going Jacksonville. Not, yeah, I would take
Oh,
Detroit
yeah,
maybe.
yeah, it'd be
I would take
this
foolish.
Detroit maybe 52-0 in this game.
this Jacksonville team just literally needs to start over again. Like they're so bad. They're so
Yeah.
bad.
What? How did they did kind of impress me though. They held the Vikings to 12 points.
They
That's pretty
did,
True.
but
impressive, actually.
That's
when
true.
they
But
did,
they
but
couldn't do anything on
that
offense. And I think Trevor Lawrence out for the season? I think Trevor Lawrence might be out for the season.
Oh man, it's gonna be Mac Jones the
So
rest
again,
of the
Mac Jones
way.
for the rest of the season against the Lions defense
oh they
this week. Ooh.
this 42 to nothing. This game isn't even going to be
Yeah,
close.
I'm
No,
going
Oh,
I'm going 56 to nothing.
Yeah, I think Detroit is going to steamroll them. I'll tell you though, the Jacksonville defense has played pretty decent. So I think it's only going to be 45-3.
Okay. I like
Okay,
it. I
you're
like
being
it.
generous.
All right. So Las Vegas at Miami, you'll have to look at that one on our website. We're going to skip that one for now. Rams at Patriots, you'll be able to find that on our picks on the HCAM website, hcam.tv. Cleveland at New Orleans. Well, I'll tell you, New Orleans, they played a nice game last week, and perhaps it came out of nowhere because the Saints they lost to Carolina week 9, and then this past week somehow just absolutely destroyed. Where'd the game go? I lost it. Oh, destroyed Atlanta,
Atlanta.
and
Well,
I
I
know it's a
mean, destroyed. It
divisional
was
game,
close,
but
but they still won. I
yeah,
mean, good
but they
Lord.
they found an offense out of nowhere. They haven't had an offense in like 4 weeks. So it's kind of shocking. I'm going with the Saints. Cleveland, I think, is just a mess. And I know Cleveland's coming off the bye week, but I think the Saints might have found something last week. And they're at home. They've played good at home. So I'm going to go Saints here. I think Cleveland will probably keep it close, or Cleveland will lead late into the fourth quarter and find a way to blow it. Andy, who you going with?
Go with the Saints. Can't pick the Browns right now. They're going in the wrong direction. And the NFC South is still, it's really up for grabs. I mean, doesn't seem like anybody wants to win that division.
No.
So it's but
Watch
I am going to
Carolina
take the Saints.
sneak out of nowhere and take it.
Oh
Oh,
my
that'd be
God.
wild.
That'd be crazy. But this is a must win for the Saints. They can't lose this game. You're at home. You're playing against a team that is going nowhere. You've got to win this game.
Yes. Jared, who do you got?
Not so fast, Jens. I'm going Cleveland here.
Oh,
Woo!
okay.
I think one of these games, and again, if this bites me in the butt, so be it. But I think one of these games, New Orleans' lack of big play talent on offense is going to catch up with them. I know they still have Kamara. They found ways to get it done this weekend. Derek Carr, an okay game. I think one of these games, their offense is going to crap the bed because I mean they're down almost all their receivers. Um, I don't know why I think it's this week, but some odd reason I think it's this week. And I think Cleveland wins a weird, ugly game. Again, if I get bit in the butt here, so be it. But I'm going upset of the week. Cleveland over. I don't even know. Is that an upset? Like, because Cleveland, I mean, New
Sure.
Orleans has been fantastic this year,
I don't
by
know.
any means. But
We could call it an upset.
I'll
We
go
we
with
got
my.
we got to get some special effect for when one of us picks an upset.
Oh
Maybe we'll
yeah.
add it in the editing process of the show. All
I don't.
right.
Yeah. I don't know. I can't really explain it, but I'm going Cleveland here. And if they win, I look like a genius. If they don't, whatever. So be it.
See, the
I'll take it.
best thing about the show is you don't have to explain yourself. You could just go with your gut, man.
Go with your gut.
You could do.
Go with your gut. Yeah.
And
It's a
actually,
weird game to go with my gut, but whatever. Let's
or
roll with it.
actually, New Orleans is actually slightly favored, but only by a point. But they are favored, so
Okay.
that would be an upset.
Yeah.
All right, Baltimore at Pittsburgh. Oh, this game is a tough one. Hey, Russell Wilson's back. He's been resurrected. Pittsburgh uh, is the home for Russell Wilson. I never thought Russell Wilson would be able to go back to playing like he did in his Seattle days, but apparently the Pittsburgh system works for the guy. I think he's officially back. He's looked fantastic the last 2 weeks. But of course, in this game, you're going against a tough Baltimore team. Uh, I'm going with the Ravens only because they've had more rest. They played Thursday night football. Pittsburgh just played a really tough game. Um, I think this is going to be a very close game, but I think Pittsburgh's due for a loss. So give me the Ravens in this one. And I think Baltimore really wants to make a statement in this one as well and try to steal the division. But on the other side of that, I wouldn't be surprised at all if Pittsburgh took this game. I'm almost 50-50 on it, but since I have to pick, give me Baltimore. Jared, who do you got?
I'm going Baltimore. I think Baltimore is the better team. Pittsburgh's defense is good, but I think Baltimore is able to make the adjustments, especially when you have Lamar Jackson at quarterback, who can do so much, is so dynamic, either through the air or on the ground. And again, I'm not fully sold on Pittsburgh. Again, they've impressed me, a bit, and especially recently. But I am going Baltimore here.
All right, Andy, who do you got?
I'm taking the Steelers, and I just think that I'm not sold on the Ravens. Like I don't know. That's one week they look good, the next week they don't. They look great one week, and then they lose to Cleveland the next week. It just I don't know. There's something you're going into Pittsburgh too. I think the Steelers are really riding high right now. Tough win for them this week, and yeah, Russell Wilson's playing great. There's no doubt about it. The Steelers are right now kind of in that second spot in the AFC. They're fighting with Buffalo right now, so it's a huge game, and I am
Yep,
going to take the
massive
Steelers.
game, massive game.
In case anyone's interested, Baltimore is 3-point favorites in this one. So there's Andy's upset of the week. All right, Minnesota at Tennessee. I don't think I'm ever going to choose Tennessee again. They look horrible. Minnesota, 6-point favorites. And I might even take the spread on that one. So give me the Vikings. I think they're also going to be frustrated after last week, only scoring 12 points against the Jags. So I think that offense is going to come out hungry. And I think Tennessee is just slowly starting to fall apart. Andy, who do you got?
Not Minnesota.
Minnesota.
Oh, yeah.
Minnesota.
Why are we even going around the table on that?
Yeah, for real. Come on.
What is wrong with me? Colts
Get
at
it together,
Jets.
Tom.
Anyone going Jets? Colts
Oh
at
God,
Jets.
no. Please.
Colts across the board. All right.
I don't think the Colts either. The Colts are not playing good football right now, but
No, they're not.
I think you have to take the Colts almost by, again, default here against the Jets.
But the Jets, they can't do anything. They can't do anything. And I
You're-
dropped
you know
Aaron
you're gonna-
Rodgers from my fantasy team.
You know you're going to get a Steve Watson Jets pick for sure.
Probably. Rodgers, I had Rodgers in fantasy, okay, and I started him over Baker Mayfield, which was actually, I thought, it should have worked out because Baker Mayfield only had 12 points, but Rodgers only had 6. So Rodgers is no longer on my fantasy football team, in case anyone wants to know. All right, so Colts, I got Tua, and I have Tua too. I could have been starting Tua. I'm starting Tua next week because Baker Mayfield has a bye week. But I couldn't believe it. Russell Wilson was in free agency, so I dropped Rodgers and picked up Russell Wilson.
Nice. Very nice.
Yeah,
Very
maybe
nice.
it's like, do I start Russell Wilson against Baltimore or Tua against whoever Miami's playing?
Playing the Raiders.
Ooh. Yeah, Raiders, they kind of stink.
Oh, the Raiders are horrible. They're
Yeah.
so many bad teams out there, really.
I might already pick that game. I think I'm going Miami over the Raiders. I cannot pick the Raiders right now.
Well, I'm not picking it yet. All right, Atlanta at Denver. This game is a tough one. Denver's looked a little better recently. I think they found a decent quarterback. Their defense kind of playing well. What did they do last week?
They lost to the Chiefs on the blocked field goal.
All right. Yes, that's right.
That was insane. That was absolutely insane.
Their defense is good, though. I like Denver's defense. Atlanta looked like an absolute mess last week. So on that note, I'm going Denver. Jared, who do you got?
Denver. Atlanta is this year's Minnesota to me. One of the most inconsistent teams I think I've seen in a long time. One week Atlanta looks exceptional. Kirk Cousins has it going, and then the next week they look like dog doo-doo. I cannot pick Atlanta right now. I'm probably not going to pick Atlanta the rest of the season. And Denver is physical. Their defense is good. Bo Nix is playing well. Cortland Sutton is getting it going. Give me Denver here for sure.
All right, Andy.
NMA. No more Atlanta. I'm
Yeah.
done.
Ah,
Yeah, there
I'm
you go. I
done.
like
I
it.
can't pick
I
this
like it.
team
Give me that all
anymore.
day.
I'm done. I cannot, literally cannot pick this team anymore. Every week I pick them, they lose. Okay. And I don't think the Broncos really are that much better. I don't know how they lose that game to the Chiefs at the end. It was just, you've got to be kidding me. But
They're in position.
they
They
will
were, I
win
mean, they
this
did
week.
everything to get in position to win the game.
They
I
still
think,
can't
I
win.
mean, the Chiefs probably deserve credit for their ability to get to the kicker there. But yeah, you can't lose that game. They're in full position to win that game. Bo Nix put him in position, hit a 14-yard pass to Sutton, put him in good field goal position, and
yeah.
no,
Yeah, how do you have a field goal blocked, the extra point blocked? Or if it was a field goal or extra point?
Field
Field.
goal.
it was a
How
field
do you,
goal.
what was it, like a 25-yard field goal or something? How do you let that get
No, it
blocked?
was a little bit longer than that, but still, it was a makeable field goal for sure. He's like,
Unbelievable.
I mean, was it 40 yards? I think it was a 40-yard field goal or so. Yeah, I mean,
Crazy.
that should be in the bag for most kickers.
All right. Yeah. So Denver across the board. Yeah, that should I don't know how it was blocked. That was just I'm like, really? And I felt going into last week's game, I almost picked Denver last week. And the reason was because Kansas City, sometime in the middle of the season, always has that one really weird division loss. And I thought for sure that was going to be it, but they survived it. So maybe they won't have that division loss and run the table, perhaps. We shall see. All right, Seattle at 49ers. I guess we'll go around since Seattle's not that bad. 49ers, Vegas has them 6.5 point favorites. Andy, let's start off with you on this one. Who you go with?
49ers, 49ers, I think they're starting to play better. They're starting to get healthy again. They're a team you have to watch for in the NFC. You know, they did go to the Super Bowl last year. I just don't buy into the Seattle team right now. I think the 49ers win this, and I think they win it by 10 points at least.
All right, so you're taking the spread. Jared, who do you got?
Ditto. That's all I'm going to say. That's it's
All
the
right.
yeah. I mean, Andy couldn't have said it better. It's San Fran.
Well, I agree. 49ers, Seattle just, they don't have the weapons to compete with this 49ers team. They had the bye week last week, which might help them.
They
Uh,
do actually have some weapons, but
well, they do, yeah.
Geno Smith
They
has
just,
actually been weirdly inconsistent considering he leads the league
yeah,
in
that's true.
passing yards. But he's like oddly been poor in a lot of games. And
Yeah, I'll
yeah,
tell
I
you
don't know. I mean,
though,
again,
49ers, though,
San Fran getting healthy.
they didn't overly impress me against Tampa. They almost blew that game. Uh, the 49ers have been kind of a little wishy-washy too. So it wouldn't surprise me if Seattle pulled off the upset, but I am going to go San Francisco because McCaffrey's back. So maybe it was just a little adjustment and getting him back. And you don't have that offense at 100% yet. But they're at home, so I think they'll make some noise. 49ers across the board. All right, game of the week. Kansas City Chiefs at the Buffalo Bills. I can't wait for this one. This is always a classic, always a great game. Jared, who you going with?
Buffalo, lock it up. Kansas
Oh,
City is due for a loss here. Their offense has not been great. Mahomes has not been great. Buffalo's playing good football. I like the way Josh Allen is playing right now. I think Buffalo has the Chiefs number this week and wins by maybe a touchdown.
wow. Okay. Buffalo's 2.5 point favorites in this. So it's actually not an upset to pick Buffalo. And you stole my thunder. I should not have let you pick first because I am picking Buffalo as well.
You knew which way I was going there, man. You knew it. You knew it.
The Bills, I really did though. The Bills offense has just been incredible. And I think, the Chiefs offense has not been great. Their defense has been really good, but their offense has not been great. It's been okay. It hasn't been bad, but I think Buffalo's kind of just on fire right now. And they're home and they got everything going for them in this one. And Kansas City is due for a loss. So I'm going for the Bills. Andy, who do you got?
I'm going with the Chiefs. It
Oh boy.
pains me to
Oh boy.
it pains me to say it, but I don't know who's gonna beat them. Like they're
I'll
like the
tell you
Buffalo
who,
Patriots.
can.
Buffalo.
Buffalo
Okay,
can beat them.
I don't trust Buffalo. I just don't trust the Bills that
Okay.
they're gonna
Okay.
be able to get it right. And the Chiefs just seem to find a way to win. And it pains me to say it because I'm not a fan of the team. And they should have lost this week. They probably should have lost to Cincinnati early in the year, but they're finding a way to get it done. And I just think the pressure is going to be too immense on Buffalo to win this game. It's going to be a close game, but I think the Chiefs are just going to sneak it out. They have the it factor. It's like the other teams, like they play this team, they just can't figure it out. And as Tom said, the offense is not playing well. I don't think they're a really hard team to figure out, but for some reason, they just can't. The other teams just can't figure them out.
Buffalo will figure it out. Don't worry. All right. So Kansas City Chiefs for Andy. Jared and I have Buffalo. Sunday night football. Cincinnati Bengals at the LA Chargers. Chargers is a 1 point favorite. I am so torn on this game. Oh, I don't like this game at
I'll
all.
start if you want.
Yeah, go ahead.
Cincinnati. Cincinnati's due for a big win here. The Chargers are due for a bit of a stinker, I think, as well as the Chargers have been playing. I obviously don't have a good record of picking Cincinnati. Obviously fell 1 point short last week, which is brutal. Um, Give me Cincinnati here. I like it. I like it. I'm feeling it.
All right. And actually, I'm going Bengals too.
Oh, Joe. I mean, as well as Justin Herbert has been playing recently, Joe Burrow has been exceptional this season. He's playing really good
Yes.
football. Might have T. Higgins back as well. Probably will have T. Higgins back, which just adds another dimension to their offense. I really like Chase Brown out of the backfield. Jamar Chase is an animal. 50 fantasy points in my league this past week. Um, I know their defense is crap, but give me the Bengals here.
Yeah, I'm going Bengals too because they always seem to play well in prime time also. And they are due for a big win. I think this is going to be a really good game though. I think it's going
Tom,
to
you
be.
gotta stop. You gotta start picking different teams than me. We're picking the same teams here. I gotta get some ground on you here.
Don't
Jesus.
worry, we still got what 6, 7 weeks left, so
Okay.
plenty of time.
Okay. All right.
Uh, Andy, who you going with?
And he's going to the Chargers.
I am going to go with the Chargers. I don't trust again. I don't trust Cincinnati. They just can't. They just can't win. And the Chargers are playing really well. I like the way they're playing. They're at home. It is a big game, and Cincinnati can score points. There's no doubt about it. But I'm starting to like this Chargers team. They're just quietly winning. And I just think the Bengals are just falling further and further behind. I do think this will be a close game, but I am going to stick with the Chargers.
I think this is when the Bengals turn it around. They run the table and make the Super Bowl.
Oh man, that would just be
Bold
filthy.
statement. Bold
That would be
statement.
If
filthy.
they make the Super Bowl, we're gonna have to go back to the show and grab that audio right there.
Yep.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah.
I'm just, I keep waiting for that Bengals turnaround though. And
It
it's
hasn't happened, but
they get a good win sometimes, and you think it's here, but then the next week they're just terrible.
Get too
And
late in the season.
I mean, like losing to Baltimore is not like a bad thing, especially with the way they played that game. It's Baltimore, tough team. So that it didn't shock me. They lost by 1 point. They made it a game, high scoring affair as you would expect pretty much in that matchup. But yeah, I mean they definitely have been shaky. Against the Eagles a few weeks ago, they were terrible. Got blown out by the Eagles. The Chargers, they have been probably more consistent overall. I can picture Chargers definitely making this a game, but I just got a feeling about the Bengals this week. All right, Monday Night Football. If we got Houston at Dallas, so Jared, we could have a different pick if you want to choose the Cowboys because I'm going with Houston.
I think I'm picking the Cowboys. Come on, come on. Let's be serious. Good
Just
Lord.
trying to
I
pull.
don't think I'm picking the Cowboys for the rest of the season. Pencil me in for whoever's playing against the Cowboys for the rest of the season.
So, Andy, I'm guessing you're going Texans, right?
I never
No
thought
way.
I would say this.
No
I am
way.
I'm picking the Texans. But I never thought I was going to say this, that the Patriots are actually better than the Cowboys. This is unfathomable. It really is. And right now, if the season were to end today, our good friend Steve Watson told us today, Dallas is coming to Foxborough next year with Bill Belichick.
Ooh. So you're agreeing with Steve there.
Yes, I
Okay.
am. It is going to happen. This is going to be must see TV.
That would be epic. That would be pretty epic.
425 game in Foxborough, probably early in the season. It is looking like it very well could happen. There is no way Mike McCarthy's back next year.
Yeah, and you know what? If I was the Cowboys, I wouldn't even bring Dak Prescott back next year because I think he's very overrated.
He's been
All
just
right.
horrendous. Wow.
There it. I mean, poor Dak out another season, but
Cooper
I
Rush
really just
passed
don't.
for like
I don't like.
Cooper
I
Rush
don't think
passed for like
Dak's
40
that
yards
good.
this week. It was
Yeah,
awful.
and now it looks like they're going to try. I think they're going to start Trey Lance on in this game. It's
Oh,
going
they
to
probably
be.
are actually. You're probably right.
I mean,
They
Houston has
should.
to win this game. They cannot lose this game. You got to
Oh
win this
my
game.
gosh. If
I
Houston
mean,
loses this game,
Oh, a totally unrelated note too. Did you see the Bears' upcoming schedule? By the way, it
I
is
yes.
did not.
brutal. They haven't played any division rivals yet. So they still got 2 games against Green Bay, 2 games against Detroit, and 2 games against Minnesota.
Not looking good.
Good
Mark my
luck. Good
words, the
luck.
Bears aren't winning another game this season. They're done.
Okay. I like it. I like it. And I think, again, I think there's a coach that's maybe under more pressure right now than Matt Eberflus. I think, again, just the way they're playing, they're awful. He's taking a lot of flack right now, and he deserves it. I mean, I think I mentioned it earlier. Caleb Williams, say what you want, but I think, he hasn't necessarily been getting the development and the coaching that he needs. And I think
No.
a lot of that sometimes falls on the head coach there. Yeah, I think Eberflus deserves to go, and yeah,
Yes,
I'm not
I
picking the Bears for the
agree.
rest of the season. They're awful.
No, they're terrible. But we are out
So
of
many coach.
time, so real
Yeah.
quickly, we got to get to final thought. All right, Andy, real quick, go ahead.
No, there's going to be so many coaching changes this offseason, in the middle of the
Yeah.
season. It's hasn't even really
Oh,
begun
I
yet.
Doug
agree. I
Peterson, maybe
agree.
Nick Sirianni.
All
Yeah,
right, who's the next one to go? Next coach to get fired. Go.
Eberflus.
Probably
Uh,
Doug Peterson.
I'll go with the Bears. Whoever's coaching the
Yeah.
Yeah,
Bears.
Matt Eberflus.
Yeah, Eberflus. All right, so final thoughts time. Andy, any final thoughts?
Yeah, I know we're recording. This is going to be played on Wednesday, but I want to wish everyone a happy Veterans Day. I took in the Milford Veterans Day parade today. It was a great ceremony, great turnout, and really, I come from a military family. My grandfather served in World War II for the U.S. Army. My uncle served in Vietnam for the U.S. Air Force. So this is a very special holiday in our family. I just want to thank them and all of our veterans for their service.
Well, I couldn't have said that any better. And yes, thank you from the bottom of our hearts to all the veterans out there. And happy belated Veterans Day. And I had a chance to cover the Hopkinton ceremony today. It was wonderful. Always love covering it. Always love covering any veteran events or military events. It's one of my favorite parts of my job, but we certainly can't give enough thanks to our veterans. And in my house, every day is Veterans Day. Jared, any final thoughts?
Oh man, I'm fully unprepared today. Any final thoughts?
Say like
Yeah, I mean,
go
just excited for the
Celtics.
next few weeks of high school football that we have left. There should be some really spicy matchups as we come down the stretch here. And as the amount of teams decrease, you're gonna get some really good games. I think you're gonna get some really good games this week. Even so, yeah, just looking forward to seeing some of those results and who gets the better of who and yeah, just excited for this time of the year too. I love being able to watch the Bruins, who are not playing well, and the Celtics, and even college basketball now. Unfortunately, my UNC Tar Heels lost a close one to Kansas the other night. But yeah, just excited to have college basketball back as well. And
Yes,
yeah,
absolutely. Best of luck to all the TVL teams still left in the tournament. We got quite a few of them in soccer, volleyball, field hockey. So rooting for the TVL teams since my beloved Hopkinton Hillers have been eliminated already. So root for all those TVL teams that are still competing in the postseason. Bring home a championship so we can cover it on our show, TVL Sportsnet, which, by the way, be on the lookout for a new episode airing. Actually, when you watch this on Wednesday during the first airing of this show, it'll be airing at 7:30 that night. So you'll be able to see a brand new TVL Sportsnet covering a lot of the playoff action. And actually, we are hoping to have 2 episodes available this week. So you might even get an hour of TVL Sportsnet. There's a maybe in there. We might only get 1 out for this Wednesday, but it might be 2. So you might get an hour. But in any case, we are out of time. For Jarred Keene, Andy Barron, I'm Tom Nappy. We thank you for watching HCAM Sports Talk. We'll catch you again soon. Enjoy the rest of your day. And thanks for watching, everybody. Hopkinton Hiller Girls Volleyball finished regular season play with a record of 16-4 and clinched the 4 seed in the Division II state tournament. The Hillers started their playoff run on Monday, November 4th in the round of 32. The Hillers hosted 29th-seeded Scituate. Steve Sweetapple and Matt Clancy had the call.
There's too many unforced errors. Elsa. Evie. What a rocket. 21-16. Hillers 5-point lead here late in the first set. Floats one in. Grant handles that. Scanlon outside. No. Net. Off the net. Thompson couldn't get it over.
Nice.
There we go.
Serve, Gabby.
And Hopkinton takes the first set, 25-16.
What a great serve.
Yeah, miscommunication there. Hopkinton very sloppy in the back tonight.
Yep.
Just not getting consistent serve-receive passes, and that's out.
Great eyes.
Hopkinton takes the second set, 25-15 for a 2-0 lead. Elsa. There's a good set and a great approach.
Wow.
Hiller's 2 points away. Liv. Gabby, bump set outside. Elsa's going to roll it. Thompson. Oh, it's going
goodness,
over.
What a play by Thompson.
Gabby, outside Elsa. Good swing. That's it. Hopkinton takes the third set, 25-14 for a 3-0 sweep of the Scituate Sailors in the second round of the MIAA state tournament.
The Hillers take the 3-0 sweep and advance on to the round of 16. In the round of 16, the 4th-seeded 17-4 Hillers hosted 13th-seeded Dartmouth on Wednesday, November 6th. Matt Clancy had the call.
Sobron on a good serving run. Liv, Gabby, Evie in the middle, just pops it over. Nice job, Evie. Way to read that. The block is getting really aggressive from Dartmouth. Elsa, nice serve. Kyla Martin controls that one. Barber going up in the middle. Big block at the net there. And they're going to call into the net there. Another good serve that skims off Joaquin. Oh, and Barber tried to be sneaky and just dump that over, and she went right into the net. 24-19. We've hit set point. Elsa, nice serve. Coming back over. Take that, Evie. Nice job by the Hillers. Nice job by Evie to take that first ball. 25-19. Hopkinton takes set number 1. Willie McKinnon back to serve. Nice deep serve. Handled well, though. Adriana, great spot. Nobody was there on that wing. Cammie gets to that one. Gabby's going outside for Elsa. Big swing. Handled well by the back row. Ooh, kind of carried over almost there from Cordero. Dartmouth in system. Martin mishits it. Soap was there for the block to finish it. Great point for the Hillers. They take set number 2, 25-16. Just a floater. Leary controls it. Barber's going outside for McKinnon. Off the block. Good reflexes by Elsa. Gabby, nice job not going to the net. Big swing by Evie to put it away. 23-17. Gabby with the serve. Mishandled. Dartmouth trying to get this in play. Liv to Gabby. In the middle for Evie, who takes a big swing. Nothing they can do. Hopkinton takes it. 25-17. They advance to the round of 8, the quarterfinals.
The Hillers take the round of 16 sweep over Dartmouth and will next host TVL rival Westwood. A couple more TVL teams who had a round of 8 matchup featured the 5th-seeded Westwood Wolverines and the 4th-seeded Hopkinton Hillers. The two TVL large rivals met up Friday, November 8th at Hopkinton High School in the Division II round of 8. Here's a look at how the game went. HCAM's Steve Sweetapple and Matt Clancy were on the call.
Liv, Gabby, Heavy. Double.
What? I don't know what the call was.
Oh, net. Tammy
Oh, in the net. Tammy was in the net.
So the Wolverines take the first set, 25-21. Good roll.
Nice
Handled well
serve.
by Roberts.
Man,
Holmesy's just playing out of her mind.
she was falling towards the crowd and just hit a great ball over the net. I don't think Hopkinton was expecting that.
Set point. Stevens with the save. Adriana puts it in. That's it. Westwood takes the second set, 25-18. Girls are going to switch sides and we'll be back in 3 minutes. Layden serving for the match. Adriana. Oh no.
The Westwood Wolverines captured the 3-0 win and advance on to the Final Four. 18-3 Westwood will meet up with first-seeded 19-2 Westboro. The game will take place on Tuesday, November 12th, 7:15 p.m. at Hopkinton High School. This program is brought to you in part by TVLSports.net. You can view the standings, stories, pictures, highlights, and more about the 12 teams in the Tri-Valley League at TVLSports.net. TVLSports.net is an independent news and media website reporting on the TVL and is not associated with the MIAA, Tri-Valley League, or any town or school.
Bay Path may have outgrown its space, but not its mission. We need your help to build a new facility that matches our capabilities and dedication. Join us and help ensure we can continue to provide exceptional care and find loving homes for animals for years and years to come. Thank you.